Good evening. All day today, the fast-track court in Delhi heard a raging argument. One side passionately argued how the four rapists and murderers of the 23-year-old paramedic of December 16 should be hanged to death. The other side, the defense, argued how they should be spared. It was on points of law, but outside, only one side seems to be predominant. From the Home Minister to the leader of the opposition, they're all asking for the death sentence, and also many members of the public. They say this case will then be a deterrent. I'm Sunetra Chaudhary, and on agenda tonight, we debate if this one case will turn things around. Joining us on this are pundits this evening. We have Suman Nalwa, who's the Delhi Commissioner of Police. She'll be giving us a police perspective, and the police has been saying they're asking for death sentence as well, and they've been saying that that will be a deterrent. Dr. Kalpana Vishwanath, who's a senior advisor in Jaguri, who's taking the contrary position. And we also have filmmaker and writer of a book called A Little Book About Men, Rahul Roy. He'll be joining us from Mumbai. But before we go to them, we also have audience as well who have their questions. They're divided as well. But let's see what happened first in court. The sentencing will now be on Friday. So let's see what happened.
हमने जो कानून में बदलाव किए हैं अभी, ये तो पिछले कानून में हो गया. अभी जो भी इस तरह के एक्शन हो जाएगी तो उस पर कानून बड़ा तगड़ा कानून किया है, उसे फांसी ही दिए जाएगी.
That remark by the Home Minister on Tuesday has ruffled the feathers of the defence team in the Delhi gang rape case. So much so, they moved an application in court saying the comments should be treated as contempt of court. That set the tone for the arguments that lasted over 3 hours on what would be a fitting punishment for the four men. The prosecution demanded the death penalty for the men, saying they killed a helpless girl. They showed no mercy even when she begged for it. There should be no mercy for merciless convicts. While the prosecution only took a few minutes to make their case, the defence lawyers argued at great length, citing factors like the need for reform, the convict's poor background, old parents, and in another case, a wife and a 2-year-old child. The defence then argued the Batla House encounter convict got a life sentence. He was let off due to vote bank politics. Why was that terrorist not given death while it's being considered for these men? Outside the court, the defence lawyer even attacked the judiciary.
In Indian judicial system, it is a very clear point that if a person have money power, if a person have muscle power, if we have person of manpower, then he will success in court proceeding, etc., criminal proceeding, court proceeding, manipulation of police, manipulation of judicial system, etc., etc.
Inside the court, they sat through 3 hours long proceedings, but they came out saying they were appalled by the defense argument.
जहाँ तक फैमिली का सवाल है, तो फैमिली जब पीछे तुम्हें पता होना चाहिए कि हमारी फैमिली है, तो हम ऐसा काम कर क्यों रहे हैं? तो ये लोग महात्मा गांधी को परतोख देते हैं, अपने क्राइम वाला काम करते हैं.
Another 2 days and we'll finally know the fate of these four men convicted in one of the most brutal and horrifying cases of rape and murder in recent memory. All eyes will now be on the trial court, which will decide on Friday whether for these men it'll be life or death. In New Delhi with Sonal Mehrotra, Neha Khanna for NDTV.
So first talking point, let's get to it. From ministers to public, are we turning into a bloodthirsty nation? Dr. Vishwanath, would you agree that that's the case? Because that's the voices, you know, when even if we go on Twitter and we see most of the comments that are coming out from that, that seems to be a thing. What do you think?
See, I can understand people's anger, you know, so I think there is a sense of tremendous anger that something, such a heinous crime took place. But, you know, this baying for blood, saying that death penalty is going to actually be a deterrent. I mean, if that was the case, I mean, this case has been so high profile right from December 17th onwards. We've continued to hear cases. We have a very similar case even last month at the in Bombay, which was again a gang rape case. And we are now hearing that those 4 men or 5 men probably committed many gang rapes even before that.
That's
time.
right.
So
yeah.
there has been no abatement of gang rape. There has actually been increasing in reporting, but the incidence is not reduced. So
what do you make of what the Home Minister said yesterday?
See,
and the fact there is a petition now, they are saying that he influenced the verdict in a way by making this statement, and he's also influencing. I mean, if he's the Home Minister and he says there will be death, that kind of statement, do you not think that that has an impact?
I mean, I believe our judicial system can be impartial, and they can do their job in a professional manner, and I'm hoping and presuming that this judge will do that. I mean, politicians have the right to say what they want, but it is the right of the judge and the judiciary to make that decision based on their understanding of the case. So that is one part of it, you know. But what is it that is it going to be a deterrent? I think that is something which we really need to look at in much more detail.
Ms. Alva, I know that the police is saying that it is going to be deterrent, because that's what we heard. We heard Mr. Gogia also saying that on our show yesterday, and we had them saying it in court as well, that this needs to be. Of course, this case is a particular one, is a completely different one, because it's also a murder case. She died, and murder cases do carry the death penalty as well. But do you think, when you hear a lot of, because you handle women cell in the Delhi police,
True.
do you think it is wise, the kind of voices that you're hearing from society, do you think that kind of debate is wise, that everyone's asking for the harshest of punishment? Do you think it can have a different kind of impact?
Again, when you were talking earlier about the society being bloodthirsty, I would not agree with that. Not in every case the society has been asking for this punishment.
That's
It is only in this one because it was by nature so gruesome. It was, I think, it falls under the rarest of rare cases. Why everybody was on the street? It was because it was so gruesome. Even police officials were shocked with the nature of the crime. So I would not say that society, you know, not in every case they are asking. Why in this particular case? So it is not the society turning bloodthirsty. It is just that even they have realized that it is a rarest of rare case. Like, they have not seen such brutality in recent times. And if we start accepting this brutality, where are we going?
Yeah.
Because if you look at the theories of punishment, okay, we can have reform, we can have deterrence, we can have other theories. But are they working? Why in this particular case? Have you ever, in the recent past itself, if you look at it, in how many cases have we got public, asking for it, or even the police asking for it?
Okay, but you don't think that even in the juvenile, when the juvenile, he got the maximum punishment, which is 3 years, but everyone's saying that's not enough, everyone's saying there should be more. You don't think that's a sign of
See, when we look at the juvenile, he's covered under the Juvenile Justice Act, which does not give any leverage even to the judges, even to the board, to give him more than 3 years of period in a remand home, in a reform home. So judges also, the board could not have done anything else. Now, if the society is demanding something, you know that there is some flaw in the law where they feel that their right to security and safety is not matching the right of a child.
Okay.
If we are, as per law which has been given to it.
Okay.
So that has to balance. If they are demanding it, I think the law has to change.